Hello, Bulgarians! I think now that we are 3 episodes in now, plus a bonus episode, I really think Bulgarians is here to stay. What do you guys think? Okay, so welcome back to Boldly Becoming, the space where we explore what it means to live your best life relentlessly, love yourself unconditionally, and walk boldly in your purpose. I'm your host, Kenyatta, and today we're diving deep into a recent, and I say recent like a few weeks ago, recent dream that shook me to my core, and I couldn't let it go after I woke up. It haunted me all through my workday, and initially, I felt that this dream was more of a nightmare. But after reflection, prayer, and a help of a dream analysis, it turned out to be an unexpected, powerful gift and conversation God was sharing with me. I am known to have vivid dreams, and this dream was no different. And this episode I share with you today is personal and reflective. And I also believe it is deeply relatable, and who better to share it with than my fellow Bulgarian family, also known as our Relentless family. Okay, so I won't give you my whole background life story to understand where this dream is coming from, but I want to take a quick trip back to 2005. I'm in my junior year of college. Saying that out loud and knowing how old I am now, that feels like a lifetime ago. But I can truly say now with gratitude that I've come a long way from my didn't know a thing 20s. Back then, I was a full-time student, working part-time, and just trying to figure life out. And then I met him. I'm not going to give no names, but he was an older guy, and we connected in ways I didn't think were possible. It felt like something real, something rare, too good to be true. But as it turned out, it really was too good to be true. When what started as a deep connection turned into a toxic, physically abusive relationship. There were fights, harsh words, police calls. It was a mess. And eventually I called my dad, packed my things, and took the longest bus ride of my life back home. At the time, I thought that season broke me. Looking back now, I see it was the turning point, a painful but powerful shift that forced me to grow, to reconnect with myself, and to lean deeper into God. I didn't know then that this chapter, one I had closed and locked away, would one day reappear. Now, of course, it's not reappearing in real life, but in a dream, so vivid and unexpected, it would stop me in my tracks. A dream that will remind me how the past can still reach for you, even years later, not to hurt you, but to show you just how far you've come. Okay, so let me tell you the dream. Well, before I tell you the dream, let me give another little tiny background. So here I am, not just years later, but decades, plural, with the S on the end, later, living my best life, and then out of nowhere, this dream shows up. Not just any dream, one that feels so real, I wake up feeling like I've actually been there. And when I tell you this dream had something to say, okay. I know you're waiting. I know you're anticipating. You're at the edge of your seat right now, so let me take you there. In the dream, I'm being evicted from my apartment. No warning, no time to process, just gone. My only option is to go live with my older sister. Now, in this dream world, she has 3 houses, and she tells me I can stay in one of them. But she also says there's already someone staying there, a house guest. So I walk in, and that's when I see him. The house guest is actually my ex, the man from my past. The man from that chapter I thought I had locked away for good. He's standing there, smiling, telling me how proud he is of me. But then, with this calm certainty, he says he can see my pain and he wants to be there for me emotionally. And before I can even think about it, I move closer. In the dream, I straddle him. Now, please don't get too excited about what type of podcast this is. You know, my mom and my dad listen to this, so I'm not straddling him. It's not sexual in any way. But in this deep emotional space, it was a place where I let him hold me. I feel the weight of years between us, the hurt, the history, but also the strange, unexpected safety in that moment. And then I wake up. That was it. So I'm lying there, staring at the ceiling, heart still racing like I'm caught between sleep and reality. The details are crystal clear. And what's weird is that even though I'm known to have vivid dreams, they do kind of dissipate of my memory of it after a day or two. But we are 3 weeks in, guys, and I still can recall the details of this dream. But it's crystal clear the eviction, my sister's houses, my ex-voice telling me he's proud of me and the way he held me. It was not about romance again. It was about, when it wasn't about going back. It was something else entirely, something deeper. I just kept asking myself, why now? Why him out of all people to show up in my dream? And then why this dream? I hadn't seen or spoken to him in years, over a decade years. That chapter was over, but this dream, it felt like it reached into a place in me I didn't even know was still tender. It wasn't about reopening the wound. It was about showing me how much I've healed, how far I've come, and maybe how the past can still tap you on the shoulder, not to pull you back, but to remind you who you've become. Now, I know some people, and maybe you're one of those people who's listening who's like, Kenyatta, really? It's just your subconscious replaying an old relationship. Don't think too much in it. Don't overanalyze it. But here's the thing. Dreams often show up as symbols, not literal replays. In dream work, being evicted can symbolize forced change, feeling pushed out of comfort, or entering a new season before you feel ready. My sister's 3 houses, that could represent abundance, options, or safe spaces God has placed around me. And my ex, he didn't show up to reopen the wound. He showed up as a symbol of something I once thought had power over me, now returning to show emotional growth and closure. The straddling moment, may I repeat, non-sexual, purely emotional, spoke to vulnerability, allowing someone from my past to hold me without fear or shame was like my spirit saying, or I like to say what God was saying to me, you can face this now. You're safe. You're healed. Sometimes our dreams let us rehearse strength in a place where we once felt powerless. They let us see that what used to define us no longer controls us. And that's what this dream reminded me of. The past doesn't always come back to trap you. Sometimes it comes back to set you free. And if you ever had a dream or a memory suddenly pull you back to a place you thought you left behind, maybe it's not to hurt you. Maybe it's to show you how far you've come. And then that nightmare that I thought was a nightmare for my dream at the beginning turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful reminder and a transition for me. So maybe for you, it's not a dream. Maybe it's running into an old friend or even an old enemy. Maybe it's a memory that pops up out of nowhere, a place you revisit after years, or a song you haven't heard in decades. When those moments happen, instead of shrinking back in fear, ask, what is this here to show me? Is it revealing a place that's still tender? Or is it showing me a wound that's finally healed? For me, this dream was God's gentle way of saying, look how far I've brought you. It's never been about me and my journey of how I've healed myself or I did these things. No, it's been God, and it's always been God. And he wanted to remind me of who he's been in my life and where his position was and is. So if the past comes to hold you in a dream, in a thought, in a moment, don't run from it right away. Sit with it. Listen. Let it remind you that you are not who you were. You've grown, you've healed, and you can face it now boldly. So, no matter where you've been, no matter what you faced, you are still becoming. So keep loving yourself relentlessly. walking in your purpose and answering the call on your life. And don't forget, continue to do that boldly. And if today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's working to release what no longer serves them. Leave a review so more beautiful humans like you can find this space. And subscribe, because this season we are 3 episodes in, and you can see now we are going deeper, bolder, and more unapologetic than ever. So until next time, keep becoming, keep letting the past remind you of how far you've come, and most of all, keep showing up boldly.